Well, welcome back, DIY car guys and car girls. And today we're finally getting back to work on the S10. But before I show you what I've been doing right here, I want to talk about welding stainless steel tubing with a $200 flux core welder. I have a lot of welding videos, but I haven't really done a stainless steel yet. It is possible. It's kind of frowned on, but you can do it. But before we get to the video, I want you guys to know that I'm still going to keep this as OG as possible, as budget for you guys out there, the DIYers, because just about anybody who plans on building a car can afford a $200 welder. And as long as you do a little bit of practice, you can build pretty much an entire car, with the exception of aluminum, with a $200 welder. So let me first show you what I've done with this welder, every single thing on this vehicle right now. See this bracket right here? It goes off the carburetor to my regulator, flux core welder. Welded two plates together to reinforce the bracketry right here to the blower so it won't flex, along with this right here. Welded this together, that right there. Redesigned the tensioner bracket right here. Made this flux core welder. This torque arm right here that keeps the motor from flexing, flux core welder. Of course, not the aluminum. That actually looks pretty nice. But everything that attaches to this, like the bracketry for this guy, for my expansion tank, flux core welder. Sheet metal work right there, because my roll cage does go to, my roll bar does go to the frame on both sides. Flux core welder. My exhaust that goes all the way back. Flux core welder. Okay, the tabs for my anti-roll, which survived a drive shaft being ripped out of the entire vehicle. The tabs are fine. It actually bent the leaf springs. These are brand new mono leafs. I had to get the upgrade. But if you're concerned about anything breaking, it held that freaking drive shaft being ripped out of the vehicle. I drove over it. It bent everything up. But the tabs that were flux core welded, guess what? We're fine. Flux core welder. And my custom drive shaft loop that I made after slinging my drive shaft. Flux core welder. So there's the outriggers that I made for my roll bar. And remember, not all pretty welds are strong, and not all strong welds are pretty. Okay, so here's the charge pipe that I'm working on right now. Still going to put a blow-off valve right around here. I think I'm going to get the, probably get the Pro Charger race blow-off valve. I need something that's going to do a pressure cut. Hopefully, if all this works right, it's definitely new to me. Boost, the belt line up and getting all this redesigned so it actually even fit under this hood was definitely a royal pain in the butt. There was a lot going on here that I had to do. We're going to put the blow-off valve right there. And I did put some bead-ins on that with this guy right there. I'll probably pull it off later on to show you, but actually it's not really doing anything because the bead-ins end up being right here and right here on the bumps. But I think this is going to be fine once I get another clamp on right here. The one that was right there was too big, so I ordered another one to put right there. But we're getting it together piece by piece. Just taking it one thing at a time. So let's get out there by the welder and let's go ahead and play with this stainless steel tubing with a $200 Harbor Freight flux core welder. Okay, so one of the key things to welding any type of exhaust tubing with a flux core welder is making nice straight cuts. I definitely recommend getting a saw like this, because if you have big gaps, your life is going to be pretty miserable trying to weld it up. So let me go ahead and cut this, and I'll show you a quick little way that's going to be frowned upon to clean up the ends. But let's do it. So obviously you need to clean up all that stuff right there. I'll show you a quick way to do it. And then you can just pull those ends right on out. Yeah, look at that side a little bit more, but you get the idea. And I know that's going to be heavily frowned upon. Okay, so your settings may vary, but you want the power to be all the way down. If they could put a little less power in these things, it'd be better, but you know, it is what it is, a $200 welder. And then the wire speed, I usually go all the way down, just up a tick. And like I said, your settings may vary because all this stock is different on the material. But we're going to try it right there for right now, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so your biggest thing is get comfortable. That's all I can say. You're going to take your wire, let's say about that much out is where you want to put it. See that right there? And pull this out a little more. See that? Oh, that's too much. Good thing about flux is you can just break it off, put it on the table, don't lose it, step on it. You can just go out just a little bit. About that much is where you want to put it. Get comfortable. Take your ground, put it on some of your stock. And the first thing you want to do is you want to tack it up. So we are going to tack it up. And then I'm going to try to show you guys what I'm doing with another camera as I weld it. But I never have luck because the refresh rate puts lines through it. It just doesn't work good. But I'll try, just for those guys who are going to complain. So when you tack this up, it needs to be as lined up as possible. And since it's stainless, you can't use magnets. So we're just going to tack it up real quick. Let's see how good I was on the other side. Go to the opposite side. Yep, we're pretty good right there. Let's just tack up this side and make sure it's on there pretty good. Alright. Sometimes it'll be hard to spark off. Just break off your piece. Get your exposed right there. And do it right here. Alright, and one more. Let's try to scrape off the slag that's on that. See that? Sometimes it's hard to spark off. But there. Now we have it tacked up. Alright, so let me get my welder's blanket on me so no stuff hits me. Alright, so you can use anti-spatter so this stuff doesn't really stick to it as much. That's one way to do it. We're like we're right now, you just spray it on there and it helps keeping the spatter sticking. That's just one of the things the flux for. So we're going to do several techniques. Now the first technique is probably going to be the easiest for you guys just starting off. And essentially what we're going to do, we're just going to lay tacks, 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 tacks on top of tacks. Now this is a time-consuming process to do it like that because you have to hit it and clean, hit it and clean. A lot of people say you don't have to, you can just keep on going down. I beg to differ, and here's the reason why. Because this is a pretty, flux core is a pretty dirty kind of weld. And if you stop, you screw things up. So let me go ahead and hit this real quick. Got a tack right there. Now if you look, if you keep on welding, going on down, you're going to get more and more slag that's going to build up. So if you're going to do this technique, hit it. Put your match back down, of course. This way you got to keep it clean, man. Or else you're going to have some crap welds that are going to break. This is could probably be the easiest way for you beginning to do this. And it does work. I'm not going to lie, it does work. And you just keep on going all the way down. Keep on going. Uh-oh. Break the end off when you need to. Just like so. We're going to go down to this tack right here. So you're basically, you're just tacking it all the way down. Keep on going. And what I'm doing is I'm starting out on the top of the tack and then coming down just a little bit, right around here. All right, so that's one way to do it. And if you're just starting off, that's going to probably be the way I want you to do it at first. And you can see it is working. So now this next section, what we're going to do, this is pretty much essential like other stuff, but when you lay into this for a while and you keep going down, it's super easy to blow through on this material right here. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to hit it and go up and down, up and down, up and down, because if you keep going down, there's a good chance, and stainless steel is definitely a little harder, not really harder, it's just different than mild steel. Mild steel, you can put a little more heat to it before it starts to blow through, but the stainless, I've noticed at least this material right here is definitely picky. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to do this all the way down right here. Now I will tell you one thing, my eyes are getting bad as I get older, and it's so easy for me to walk on off to the side. So hopefully I don't walk myself off to the side and create a stupid looking weld. So that's what I'm going to do now. So let me go ahead and see if I cannot screw up. See, I went through right there. See how easy that was? Let's go ahead. All right, so I got to move a little bit quicker. So let me go ahead and use two hands because I'm going to need a little more stability on this. All right, I'm going to put one hand right here, and I have to move really fast so I don't blow through. Okay, so I didn't walk off, but you can see we were able to hit it. I did a little bit of walking. I went down to this side some. So you can see different results here. That's that one result. And this definitely is a little more tricky than doing mild steel. I'm going to tell you that right now. So let's go ahead and try that one more time right here. So I'm going to hit it right there. I'm going to see how far. And I like to put a tack like where I'm going to stop. So let's go ahead and do it right here. And I'm going back and forth, because if you don't, you will blow through. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. I don't care what you say, it's essential to keep this shit clean. There we go. Let's do it. All right, there we go. Like I said, you gotta move fast with the stainless. All right, so I went ahead and I just finished it off, but I'm sure you guys saw those are the two techniques that I found that works the best. Now, get yourself a belt sander and see how we have it misaligned, and I'll show you why. Turn it on and lock it. All right, now some of you guys can laugh at this, but it does work. I'm telling you, it works. Take yourself canola oil. You can also use this as anti-spatter. I just find it makes it harder to weld, so I don't even use it anymore. Take yourself a wire brush. The ones from Harbor Freight are pretty stiff, so use your stiff one. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look. Make sure it's all dry. This is where we did the tack section. That's going to be the easiest way to do it. I don't think it looks as good. Well, none of it looked great, but you know, it is a $200 welder that's welding stainless, and stainless is pretty tough. This is the first pass I made. You can see right here, this is where I punched through, so it's pretty fat right there. But then came on down here, I kind of walked off a little bit. My eyes are getting bad. Next pass, then you have the next pass, and then you have the next pass, back to where it was tacked up. Whether you like it or hate it, it's a $200 welder, and you can weld stainless. Now, one thing you need to note, this won't rust, but your welds definitely will. Hopefully this has been helpful. Till next time, guys, don't forget to subscribe. Peace.